Good morning, ninth graders. Today I'll be registering for classes for next year. All right, boys and girls, you will need the following materials to register today. Make sure you have a registration book, your green registration sheet, and something to write with. Before we get started on registration, I just want to talk about a few things that you have opportunities for next year. First, number one, your GPA and class rank. Make sure you're taking tough classes, first of all, and earning high grades in those classes because your class rank is extremely important for college classes or PSEO eligibility. Point number two, all 10th graders will take the PLAN test, which is your pre-ACT test. And the top 50% of their class will have the option to take the PSAT, which is your pre-SAT test. These tests are great practice for college placement and for determining class placement for AP Biology and AP English. Sophomores to be, start thinking about concurrent enrollment program opportunities. That means taking college classes in our high school. Again, we have several offerings available to you starting your junior and senior year. The requirements are listed on page 9 of the registration guide that you can look at sometime in the future. And again, like I mentioned earlier, working on that GPA and class rank so you can be eligible for these classes as a junior. The next opportunity is PSEO, or post-secondary educational opportunities. Those requirements are listed on page 10 of the registration guide. Unfortunately, you're not able to do PSEO yet until your junior year. But in order to be eligible, make sure you're in the top third of your class. Again, your GPA and class rank are so important. If interested in PSEO, set up a meeting with your school counselor and your parent in early spring of your sophomore or junior year. Another opportunity we have is advanced placement or AP courses. Those courses include AP US History, AP English as a senior, and AP Biology as a junior or senior. See page 10 of the registration guide for more information on those opportunities, and we'll talk more about AP US History in just a second. Okay, sophomores, we're getting in registration process. First, choosing classes. Please turn to page 19 in the registration guide. That is your planning sheet for next year. Things to consider for choosing classes for that year. What are your interests? What are you good at, or what do you need help with? What are your post-secondary plans? And remember, are there any classes you need to retake, or if you're a transfer from another school, other classes you still need to complete? Freshmen, below the requirements, you'll need to graduate from CLHS. But turn to page 19 of registration guide. While you're there, make sure you look at, we need 1 credit of English, 1 credit of social studies, 1 credit of math, your 1 credit of your science, PE 10, health. Think about getting that art requirement done, and also a foreign language, Spanish, German, French, Chinese, or American Sign Language as a requirement for college. All right, boys and girls, looking at your green registration sheet, on the front you'll see a spot that says English. For registering for English for next year, if you're an English 9 RTI right now, register for English 10 RTI. If you're an English 9 right now, register for English 10. If you're an English 9 honors, register for English 10 honors. Please just highlight those classes, put a box around them, circle them, some way to indicate that you're going to take those classes. Next, we'll talk about social studies. Please flip over your green registration sheet. On the left-hand side, you will see social studies in bold. You will take US History 1 and US History 2. But if you're interested in AP US History, you must be in English 10 honors. New for next year, these classes will be team taught and meet for the entire year. So you need to be in English 10 honors in order to take AP US History. If you have questions about the AP US History and English 10 honors, please talk to your link members, your PAWS teacher, or seek out your counselor. Now we determine your math classes for next year. So turn your green registration sheet back over to the front side. On the right-hand side, you'll see math in bold. Turn to page 40 of registration guide as well. Now look at the box labeled Class of 2017 and beyond. Find the math class that you have taken or are taking this year. Follow the arrow down to the next math, This is the math class you will take next year. You will take 1 credit of math. A question you may have is, can I double up on math classes? In order to get to things like college math, college algebra, college trig, and college calculus, to prepare for the MCA grad math test your junior year, and just to be better prepared for college or other classes. In order to do so, we need, as your counselor, teacher recommendation for you to double up on math. If you have questions on this, again, talk to your link crew member or seek out your counselor. Next, we'll talk about your science class for next year. Again, flip your registration sheet over to the back side. On the left-hand side, you'll see science. Students currently in Science 9 or in Science 9 Honors register for chemistry or honors chemistry. Please turn to page 47. Look at the top of the page under 10th grade choices as a reference. Continuing with science, if you want to register for honors chemistry, this option is appropriate for students interested in a career in science, medical science, healthcare, or engineering at a four-year college. Students taking honors chemistry should have completed intermediate algebra 2 as a 9th grader and or be enrolled in geometry. There's a new class being offered next year for you as a sophomore. Please notice that this new class is listed under Technology Education on your registration worksheet. The course is titled 3D CAD with Inventor 1. The class is not listed in the registration guidebook. If interested or need more information, see your counselor for more information. Looking on the registration sheet right above science, you'll see PE 10 and health. Make sure you put a square, highlight those for next year. Band and choir students, listen up. First of all, you have room in your schedule to continue pursuing these interests in band and or choir. Please review page 44 of the registration guide to help you in your selection of skinny classes, and make sure you sign up for your band or choir. All right, boys and girls, the registration sheet on your green registration sheet for 10th grade. Make sure you have circled or indicated somehow all your required courses we've just talked about. Circle your other elective classes you want. List 3 alternates on the back sheet of your registration guide, and have a parent sign the back of the sheet. Make sure you bring this sheet the day you register. On your day of registration, you'll need your signed green registration sheet, a pencil, and your registration guide. To know when you register, please check your registration groupings with your PAWS teacher. They'll be listed on your guidance office window or on the cafeteria doors. All right, current 9th graders, surely you have lots of questions about classes to be taken for next year and filling out your registration guide. If you have questions, again, talk to your link crew members or seek out your counselor before or after school or during passing time if you have questions about those requirements for 10th grade, if you want to see a credit check or your transcript of past classes taken, or you need help with course selection. And again, use your link leaders